Capital asset. Capital assets generally include these assets outside the daily scope of business operations. Capital asset. Capital crime. If you kill people, you will get a capital crime. Capital crime. Capital expenditure. A great amount of capital expenditure will be required. Capital expenditure. Capital gains. The tax on capital gains directly affects investment decisions, the mobility and flow of risk capital. Capital gains. Capital goods. Infrastructure represents those types of capital goods that serve the activities of many industries. Capital goods. Capital levy. The rise of the capital levy is our only option at present. Capital levy. Capital loss. An investor who sells a stock at a price lower than the purchase price, however, suffers a capital loss. Capital loss. To make political capital out of something. He accused her of trying to make political capital out of an important issue. To make political capital out of something. Certificate of approval. On successful completion of the pattern approval process, you will be issued with a certificate of approval. Certificate of approval. Certificate of deposit. It suggests that the certificate of deposit market is not highly efficient. Certificate of deposit. Certificate of incorporation. The company has received its certificate of incorporation and may now start trading. Certificate of incorporation. Certificate of judgment. In such cases, the creditor will require proof of judgment in the form of a certificate of judgment from the originating court. Certificate of judgment. Certificate of origin. She looked at the certificate of origin to check where the goods were produced. Certificate of origin. Certificate of registration. A certificate of registration is used to prove registration at LSE for current students. Certificate of registration. Certificate of registry. There is no fee to renew your certificate of registry. Certificate of registry. Certificate of service. No certificate of service is required at the time of filing your original pleading. Certificate of service. Civil action. Neighborhood disputes and minor statutory proceedings may involve amounts over $12,000 and still be heard as minor civil actions. Civil action. Civil court. The civil court provides a system for private parties to resolve disputes. Civil court. Civil disobedience. Civil disobedience is one of the many ways people have rebelled against what they deem to be unfair laws. Civil disobedience. Civil disorder. The severity of the civil disorder can get out of hand, leading to a riot. Civil disorder. Civil law. Unlike common law systems, civil law jurisdictions deal with case law apart from any precedent value. Civil law. Civil liberties. Other civil liberties include the right to own property, the right to defend oneself, and the right to bodily integrity. Civil liberties. Civil rights. It is important to note the difference between civil rights and civil liberties. Civil rights. Civil strife. This data collection contains measurements of civil strife for 114 nations for the period 1961 to 1965. Civil strife. Common assault. In NSW, common assault carries a maximum penalty of 2 years imprisonment,